Hello, and welcome to Rock Your Block, where we are highlighting individuals who are making an impact in our community. I'm your host, Larry Laws. And on today's segment of First Home Alliance, I'm joined by Miss Christine Olfus. She's a real estate professional and serves as chapter president of the Veterans Association of Real Estate Professionals of Washington, D.C. chapter. Christine?
Hi.
Oh, hello. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me on.
All right. Well, Christine, as getting started, can you share a little bit about yourself?
About myself?
Yes.
Well, I'm a real estate professional. Somehow I got into the real estate industry through a myriad of journeys. First starting out as a real estate appraiser's assistant, and then I moved into property management, commercial property management, and then somehow I ended up with a license and I used it. And from there on, when I realized I can make that type of money selling a house, I decided to resign from my property management job because my real estate money part-time had surpassed my full-time job salary. But that choice came at a terrible time. That took place in July of 2007, and you know what followed there.
Correct.
So I stayed with it, took a couple of part-time temporary positions, but then I realized I had a niche, which was property management.
Yes.
And so I started doing residential property management, some commercial, and that kind of stabilized me. And then I just started getting back into the residential sales, and that's where I've been.
Okay, well, that sounds good. Yes, and today we're going to talk about your profession, the real estate profession. But I heard this great organization that you serve on their board, VA Rep, Veterans Association of Real Estate Professionals. How long has that been around, and how did you get involved?
Well, it's been around since 2012, and I was introduced to the organization in the spring of 2014. And I thought it was a great fit. I definitely had a desire to do something outside of myself, to give back to the community. And I thought, you know, with all that veterans go through, especially when they return after what they've already been through when they're deployed, or supporting those who are deployed, that the least that I could do was help them on the home front with purchasing a home and being
Yes.
better at it, knowing their benefits and understanding their needs and the barriers that prevent them from obtaining a home.
Yes. And so, are you a veteran?
I am not a veteran.
Yeah. Do you have veterans in your family?
Yes, I do. My brothers, two of my brothers out of three are veterans, and pretty much just about every male in my house, in my family, is a veteran. And I think I can count maybe three that are not.
Yes.
That are in my immediate family, uncles, grandfather. You know, they've all served.
Okay.
So having my oldest brother, who was like my other dad, be a service member at such an early age, I was in the 6th grade when he went into the Navy, it gave me an idea of service life, and he went through several branches of the military.
Okay.
And I was almost in the Air Force.
Yes. Well, we consider you a patriot, so
Yeah.
Thanks for your service. Now, about VA Rep, what are some of the major focuses that they point to VA Rep?
Well, VAREP's mission is very simple. I like to think of it as very linear. And it's one of the reasons I said, well, maybe this could be a great add-in to my business, because it's still real estate and education, which is something, you know, I like to give workshops, homeowners, home buyers workshops, especially the first-time buyers. So VAREP's mission is to increase sustainable home ownership through financial literacy, because we truly believe that in order for us to end homelessness, that veterans and low to moderate income first-time buyers, they need to be educated on budgeting, credit repair, and the steps to purchasing a home. So we won't have what happened during the crisis, where a lot of people didn't take that economic opportunity
Yes.
to maintain their biggest asset that they would ever have.
Right. How large is VA Rep? Is it local, or is it, how large is it?
Well, actually, the organization was founded by Sun Guy and Dustin Lucy out of California. So it's
Okay.
from the West Coast. It started on the West Coast. However, since 2012, we have over 30 chapters now that
Wow.
span from the West Coast all the way over to the East Coast and Hawaii.
Oh, okay. And how long has the chapter here been active?
It's been active about almost 2 years. Almost
Okay.
2 years. And
Okay. Do VA rep, do they affect policy in any way?
absolutely. One of the key, we have 5-point plans, and I believe the first point is advocacy. We advocate on behalf of veterans by going on the Hill and changing legislation to break down barriers, basically, to home ownership. One of the things that we went on the Hill for, our first time on the Hill was in 2014,
Okay.
and it was really tough because no one ever heard of VAREP. And one of the first policy changes that we wanted was that on the lender's intake form that they would have the question there: have you served? Are you active duty? Are you military?
Good idea.
Because a lot of times no one would know, and sometimes a veteran would go all the way through closing and the lender would discover they were a veteran and did not use their benefits to
And
purchase a
so
home.
you went on the Hill actually to advocate for that.
Yes.
Yes. And so I understand that's an annual event. And so this year, did you actually go on Capitol Hill this year?
Yes, we went on
Yes.
June 7th, and we met with several of our congressional members in the area.
Okay.
And this time we were advocating on behalf of having fairness in the lending disclosure documents.
Okay.
Whereas right now, when you look at a loan product or a purchase of a house, the comparisons are there for FHA and conventional.
Right.
The VA benefit, the VA breakdown is not there.
Okay.
And so to give the veteran options, they need to see their benefit side by side with the other two.
Yes. This sounds like a very good cause, supporting our veterans. And I'm quite sure that other real estate professionals probably want to know some of the benefits and of becoming a member.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of those benefits and what do they offer real estate professionals?
Okay, well, we have membership for those who are in the industry of real estate, whether you are a home inspector, lender, realtor. It's always good to have great information. We offer a course in, it's called the MVHC, the Military Veteran Housing Certificate.
Okay.
Membership is $99. Right now that course is only $99. It's a $300 course that you can take online.
Okay.
We soon will be having it live in the DC metro area chapter, but right now it's a course you can take online. It goes really deep into the VA loan.
Okay.
It breaks it down, really simple, but more detailed with respect to the things that you would experience on the ground with your client.
Yes.
With understanding all the different aspects and the overlays that some of the lenders may have,
Okay.
and how they would impact your client, and just going through the steps when you first meet with a client.
Correct.
And you may not know they're a veteran, knowing just to ask.
Yes.
Have you served? Have you
Correct.
wore the uniform?
Right.
And do you have your DD 214
Yes.
form? Are you disabled?
Correct.
If you are disabled, at what percentage? Knowing the proper answers that could save them a lot of money
Yes.
and taxes.
Yes, and I do understand you have a membership base here, and also you have board members, and that's sort of your leadership. Is there any particular gathering or conference or training that you have for leaders or leadership?
Yes, we do. Annually, we have a leadership conference. This year, it's going to be in Las Vegas in October. It's approximately 2.5 days. And during that time, we can train the trainer courses, where we go out there and get trained on some of the certification courses that VAREP offers. So we can bring them back to our chapters and train those who are in our industry, realtors, lenders, so they can be better prepared.
Okay.
To,
and locally, for potential members, outreaching to new potential members, what do you hold, or is there any hold to reach out, events that you may hold to reach out?
Okay, we have two types of outreach. VAREP has outreach to, like I said, those in the industry.
Correct.
We do lunch and learns.
Okay.
We just did a lunch and learn 2 days ago, And that Lunch and Learn was a panel discussion. We had a VA underwriter, a VA appraiser, we had a realtor who does nothing but VA, and we also had a lender who is heavily immersed in the VA loan. And we had a room full of realtors and some lenders who were able to ask questions about things that they experienced, roadblocks, how to eliminate those roadblocks, how to properly package a loan. And we try to do a Lunch and Learn at least once a month throughout the calendar. We may drop off 2 months here and there out the calendar, so maybe 10 times a month. But now that since we are encompassing the whole DMV, we pretty much try to travel around, have one in Maryland, DC, Virginia, so we can hit the entire region.
Okay, and also I see here that you put on other fundraising events as well. And so, what type of events do you put on to raise funds for it?
Well, VAREP is a nonprofit. It's a 501c3, and our membership helps with our headquarters. But as far as sustaining our local chapters, fundraising and sponsorships is how we survive. So right now we have some marvelous sponsors who sponsor us throughout the year by giving a certain amount of funding based on our budget. In addition to that, we have to raise funds for various things, for our expenses. And one of the things that we do with the monies that we raise is we give back to the veteran community.
Yes, and Christine, can you hold that for a second? We're about to take a short break, but before we go, I would like to remind you that First Home Alliance is a HUD-approved housing counseling agency serving the National Capital Area. If you are a first-time homeowner, a home buyer, or a homeowner in need of mortgage assistance, I encourage you to check the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development website for a HUD-approved housing counseling agency in your area. Now, during the break, enjoy a short video clip on Veterans Association of Real Estate Professionals. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
My name is Cecilia Bell, and I am a veteran. I've served for over 16 years in the United States Army. Had a great experience with that and really enjoyed my time with my military families throughout the U.S. and abroad. I'm proud to serve.
My name is Christine Olfus, and I'm the chapter president for VA REP, the Veterans Association of Real Estate Professionals, Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Area Chapter. I met Cecilia Bell in June of 2015 at our policy conference. Then again, I met up with Cecilia during our Lunch and Learn a few months ago, and during that time she expressed a need to get her certificate of eligibility. She had been roadblocked and told to go various places, and after a month and a half she still had no certificate of eligibility. And I felt her frustration in this process, knowing that she was trying to move forward with purchasing another home.
It was like I didn't even exist. At that time, I was struggling to get one thing. That was my VA eligibility certificate. I needed it, and I needed it now. I had constantly been pushed back, sent to websites, calling the Veterans Administration to no avail. Miss Christine asked me to give Mr. Son, the president, the national president of VA REP, a call. She was certain that he could help me, and he did.
He heard her story, and within an hour, she had her certificate of eligibility in hand. I was very excited. My excitement did not measure up to Cecilia's excitement. However, it really showed me again the power of VAREP.
Oh my God, I felt like I had hit the lottery. Nobody knows how lonely one can feel if they are trying to get something done and they have no support, and everyone is saying no. Well, I'm here to tell you, VA REP says yes. They say yes to their veterans, they say yes we can, and they say yes we will. Today I stand here as someone that just didn't read about VA REP online. I actually experienced the power of VA REP for myself. Call VA REP. They will help you, they will show you, and they will guide you. They will take your hand and lead you to where you want to be. I guarantee you, they did it for me, they'll do it for you. God bless you and make it a great day on purpose.
Our proactive stance, providing financial literacy, education, and advocating home ownership, may not end the epidemic of homelessness among the veteran community, but can prevent it from happening in the future, one veteran at a time.
Welcome back. You're watching Rock Your Block. And if you're just now tuning in, I'm your host, Larry Laws of First Home Alliance. And we are joined today with our special guest, Christine Olfus of Veterans Association of Real Estate Professionals. Christine, before the break, we was talking about fundraising and raising funds for the cause. So talk a little bit more about some of the events that you have to raise funds.
Okay. Well, one of the events that we're going to have in August, it's a Veterans Housing Summit. This one, maybe I should just talk about the fundraiser part first. Okay, we're going to have a Stars and Stripes golf tournament. It's an annual event. This year it's going to be in September 16th, and it's a golf tournament.
Okay.
And it's totally done by the sponsors, and the monies that we raise from this event, we of course use it to defray some of our costs, but most importantly, we use it for VAREP cares.
Yes. Yes, and that's very important to know where the funds are actually going. And so a little bit about VAREP cares and what do you do with those funds? What are some of the things they've done for veterans?
Well, some of the things that VAREP as a whole has done, I know in the past year, we've given over 15 homes away to veterans. And these homes are, the only thing the veteran would have to do is pay the taxes on the home, totally renovated houses. In our local chapter, we are looking for families who are in need of perhaps paying their mortgage, paying their rent, or maybe just brightening up their holiday. Okay. And that's what we currently are able to do with that VAREP cares. Okay, so so we're looking for families within a family in Virginia, D.C., and Maryland.
Okay, all right. And yeah, I know you started talking about this, and I think this is a very important thing that is annually, and also you have one coming up soon. And one of the direct benefits for veterans in reference to financial literacy. And so tell us a little bit about the Veterans Housing Summit.
Well, some of the funding that we get also is for this Veterans Housing Summit, which is almost the most important part of our purpose. And that is where we educate the veteran. It's a free event. It's a housing expo where in the morning between 9 and noon, it's all education. We bring in the VA, HUD certified counselors to teach the benefits of home buying, credit, as well as the steps to purchasing a home.
Okay.
In the afternoon, after they have lunch, they can expo and meet with different lenders to see if they qualify. They can have their certificates of eligibility pulled on the spot, and we'll also have other wraparound services for them to visit.
Okay.
During that time.
All right. And so is this also annually that you hold these? It
is annually. However, our chapter is looking to do it more because we find that the need is great here in this large DMV area. So we're looking to do it at least twice a year.
Okay. Yeah, Christine, I know you're doing a great job here supporting our veterans, and I think you know you have it within your core and family members, but you're also a real estate professional.
Yes.
When, at what time in your life did you think that it was time for you to live out that dream of being a real estate professional?
Well, it's something I've always wanted to do. I've always been in that real estate industry, but I used to be really timid. So I didn't think I could ever I could sell anything. I couldn't sell an ice cube to someone in 90 to 9 degree weather. I thought I would have a hard time selling them ice. So I really saw how it's really helping people. So it's a part of that thing that I like to help. I like to make sure people understand what it is they're doing, because I didn't understand. So I'm always wanting to make sure that people really understand the benefit of educating and being an educated buyer. So that's one of my motives for being a realtor, And it's the same with being a property manager. I like landlords to understand that, you know, it's a heavy task to be a landlord, and there's a lot of responsibility with it.
And so you do a property management as well? Is
Yes.
Yes. And so do I understand that you also do you have a property management company?
Yes, I have a property management company. It's called the Anna Victoria Group.
Okay.
And it's a boutique property management service, gracefully serving its clients. And those all three of my grandmother's names, great-grandmother's and grandmother's names.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. And how do you mix in that within the real estate business?
Well, it kind of all merges together.
Yes.
I have owners who I have to market their houses for renters. Fortunately, most of those renters are long-term renters.
Correct.
Sometimes they're not. Sometimes they may want me to sell their houses. So I'm a full service, I would say real estate service consultant. In the real estate side, I have now a small staff.
Yes.
And I also use other services. I have 24-hour emergency service company. I have an inspection company. I have vendors, and then I have an assistant. I have a showing agent, and I have administrative assistant. So I have, you know, this help, but as I build this business.
And so how can you merge all that into one day's operation? What is a typical day?
A typical day.
And actually bringing in a VA rep as well.
It has proven to be a challenge. VA rep, because we're a new chapter, has taken quite a bit of time to grow and to make sure that members and that our people in our industry are really getting what we offer. And that's been the toughest challenge. The biggest challenge is just growing the chapter. And when I say growing, I don't mean so much in numbers, but really understanding the mechanics of VAREP. The mechanics are education.
Correct.
Education, fundraising, and our housing summits, educating, and also getting the word out, not only to those in our industry, but also to our congressional and local level politicians, because it's super important. You know, over in Prince George's County, where I mostly work, out of the state of Maryland, that county has the highest number of veterans.
Yes.
And so what comes with that is a high number of homelessness. So the county does have a high number of homeless veterans. And I know Montgomery County has pretty much eradicated that in their county, and we want to do that too. So I've been trying to really partner with those services in the county, such as the social services, and I've spoken with Senator Joanne Benson, and just trying to get to rally them, to try to get them to rally with us. Yes. So we can get the word out, especially about the housing summit, because when we had our first housing summit, some of those who attended were homeless veterans.
Oh, great. And
one of the young ladies who attended, who was a disabled corporal, was homeless, and she received a home from us, mortgage free.
Yes, well, we definitely need to get the word out and get some veterans there. Yes, and so for a real estate professional that was interested in, to find out more information, how do they find out more about VA Rep?
VA Rep, they can go to varep.net, and they can surf around that website, or they can do VA Rep DC chapter, and they should be able to find our local chapter, or they can just call me.
Okay. And what about veterans that's looking for assistance? What you recommend for them to do?
To find us?
Yes.
varep.net. varep.net. If they call the contact number on the website, they will circle them back to me, Vice President, VAREP, or another board member.
Okay. Well, I know you got your hands full. You got a lot going on. You got a chapter that you're trying to grow. You got a business that you're working. Is there anything that we don't know, or maybe something on the horizon? What's next?
What's next? Let's see. I know that, we have our Stars and Stripes, our housing summit. I would say we're going to have our holiday gala towards the end of the year, and of course, VAREP Cares. That's that's the biggest thing that we're looking forward to, put some smiles on some faces towards the end of the year with some veterans families.
And what about you personally? Do you have something that you're coming out with or something?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I have a book that I'm writing. It's called "So You Want to Be a Landlord, Eh?" And I was inspired to write that book because of my clients. I find that I have a cachet of landlords who got into being a landlord for numerous reasons, and it's just very interesting to see how they stumble through it and then they hire me. So I'm writing this book based on their experiences.
Okay.
And so it's I want to write it in a funny way, but also an educational way. It's an educational tool.
Okay. All right. Well, Christine, I want to thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and sharing all the good things that you have going in the community. And I really appreciate the great work that you're doing for our veterans.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Christine shared a lot of great information on how she is supporting our veterans in the community. If you would like to get involved, contact Christine. Her information is below. Now it's time to check our inbox and see how we can rock your block. This is where we share recent questions sent to us from you, our viewing audience, in reference to financial stability and home ownership. Today's question comes from the city of Alexandria, Virginia. Why should I attend a first-time homebuyer class, and what housing programs are available for me? I recently spoke at a homebuyer education workshop in the city of Alexandria, and I strongly believe that the road to successful homeownership starts at being educated on the process. There are excellent programs available for residents that live and work in the city of Alexandria. There is an affordable set-aside homeownership program where developers make available a limited number of discounted units for low to moderate income borrowers. These units can be found in newly constructed homeownership developments. Then there's the flexible homeownership assistance program. An eligible borrower can qualify for a $50,000 deferred loan. To find out more about these programs, log into the City of Alexandria Office of Housing website or call 703-746-4990. It was my pleasure to share with you what my community partners and I are doing to assist people with financial stability and home ownership. If you have questions, email our inbox at help@firsthomealliance.org to get your questions answered. Then tune in to our next show to see if your question was selected to be shared with our audience. If you want to find out more about our services, visit our website. I'm your host, Larry Laws. Thank you for watching today's segment of First Home Alliance, and join us next time to rock your block.
Flex Bootcamp is a pilot program. We are seeking applicants that are serious about getting into financial shape and willing to take on the Financial Literacy Education Experience Challenge. We ask candidates for a 12-month commitment of financial management conditioning. We offer 10 financial education modules augmented by monthly confidential one-on-one financial coaching sessions. We are committed to help you reach your financial goal. Your success is our success. If you are interested, please visit our website for more information.